Welcome back, students. So, we will start our new chapter, that is about chemical effects of electric current. In class 7, you studied about heating effect of electric current. Means when current passes through a conductor, heat will be generated. That is heating effect of electric current, and magnetic effect of electric current also. That is, when current passes through a conductor, it creates a magnetic field around it. So, these two phenomena you studied in class 7. So, in this chapter, we will discuss about chemical effects of electric current. Means what will happen when current passes through a solution. When current passes through a solution, what all changes will happen? That we studied in this chapter. Okay. So, before going to the chapter, the first thing you know about the conductors and insulators. In class 6 and in class 7 also you studied about conductors and insulators. Conductors are materials which allow electric current to pass through it easily. Example, all metals or copper and aluminum are good conductors of electricity. Okay. Copper and aluminum are good conductors of electricity. The best conductor of electricity is silver. Then insulator is there. Insulator means the material which do not allow electric current to pass through it. The material which do not allow electric current to pass through it. That is an insulator. So, plastic, rubber, wood, all those are examples for insulators. In class 6, we made a conduction tester. Conduction tester with the help of a cell, a bulb and two wires. We made a conduction tester, and with the help of the conduction tester, we can check whether a material is a good conductor of electricity or an insulator of electricity. So, here I will draw the diagram of a conduction tester. It consists of a cell or a battery. Now, I am connecting a cell. Instead of cell, I am using a battery and a bulb and two terminals. So, if you connect, let's name these two terminals are A and B. So, if you connect any material in between A and B, if that material is a good conductor of electricity, then the bulb will glow. If it is a bad conductor of electricity or it is an insulator, then the bulb will not glow. So, this one is a conduction tester. So, conduction tester is a device to test whether a particular material is a good conductor of electricity or not. So, it consists of a battery, bulb and two free terminals. It consists of a battery, bulb and two free terminals. So, if you connect any material in between this A and B, in between this terminal A and B, if it is a good conductor, then current will pass through that material, the circuit will be complete and the bulb will glow. If it is an insulator, then the circuit is not complete and the bulb will not glow. Or if you place a material that is a good conductor of electricity, then that is a closed circuit. That is a closed circuit and the bulb will glow. If you place an insulator in between the terminals A and B, then the circuit is open and the bulb will not glow. So, that is about a conduction tester. Now, activity 14.1 means we need to check whether this conduction tester is in a working condition or not. So, how we will be able to do that? Join the free ends of the tester together for a moment. This completes the circuit of the tester and the bulb should glow. Just join the two terminals A and B together for a moment. Then if the bulb is glowing, then you will get an idea, or that means the conduction tester or this tester is in a working condition. However, if the bulb is not glowing, it means that the tester is not working. Now, what are the possible reasons? First one, either the connections may be loose. First condition is either the connections may be loose. Second one, either the bulb may be fused one or the battery may be a dead one. Okay. So, three possible reasons are there. If the tester is not working, if you join the two terminals of the tester, if the bulb is glowing, then your tester is working. If the bulb is not glowing, that means the tester is not in the working condition. So, we need to check what are the possible reasons for that. First one, the connections may be loose. If it is loose, then tight it. Then second one, we will check about the bulb. If it is a fused bulb, then the bulb will not glow even if the circuit is complete. So, we need to replace the bulb with a new one. Then we will check the condition of the battery. If the battery is a dead one, means there is no chemical energy inside the battery, all the energy is used up. So, we need to use a new battery. So, these are the problems when you check the working of a tester. Now test if the tester is working or not. If it is still not working, then replace the cell with a fresh cell or new cell. So, that is a activity 14.11. How we will check whether your tester is in a working condition or not. Now, we need to check whether liquids will conduct electricity. Whether liquids will conduct electricity. That is our point. Do liquids conduct electricity? We know metals will conduct electricity. So, copper, aluminium, silver, gold, all those things will conduct electricity. What about the liquids? Whether the liquids will conduct electricity. So, we need to check whether the liquids will conduct electricity. So, this one is a tester circuit and we need to take a beaker in which you need to add the solution. Which solution you want to test? Whether that solution is a conductor of electricity or not. Take that solution in that beaker and insert the two terminals of this tester. I already named it as A and B. So, here you can name it as, this one is a terminal A, this one is a terminal B. So, insert the two terminals, two free ends of the tester into the solution. If the solution is a conducting one, then the bulb will glow. Then the bulb will glow. If it is not a conducting solution, then the bulb will not glow. Okay. So, that activity is given in page number 173, activity 14.2. Collect few plastic or rubber caps of discarded bottles and clean them. Pour 1 teaspoon of lemon juice or vinegar in one cap. Bring your tester over this cap and let the ends of the tester dip into lemon juice or vinegar as shown in the figure. Take care that the ends are not more than 1 centimeter apart, but at the same time do not touch each other. Does the bulb of the tester glow? Does the lemon juice or vinegar conduct electricity? How will you classify lemon juice or vinegar, a good conductor or a poor conductor? So, when you insert the two free terminals A and B of the tester in lemon juice or vinegar, you can see that the bulb is glowing. The bulb will produce light or it will emit light. Means the vinegar or lemon juice is a good conductor of electricity. That means the vinegar or lemon juice is a good conductor of electricity. When a liquid between the ends of the tester allows the electric current to pass, the circuit of the tester becomes complete. The current flows in the circuit and the bulb glows. When the liquid does not allow current to pass, the circuit of the tester is not complete and the bulb does not glow. So, just like that, when you keep any material between the terminals A and B, if it is a good conductor of electricity, then the current will pass through the circuit. That means the circuit is complete and the bulb will glow. Now, if you keep any material, whether it is a solid or a liquid, if it is not a good conductor of electricity, means the current will not pass through it and the circuit is not complete and the bulb will not glow. In some situations, even though the solution is a conducting one, still the bulb is not glowing. Even though the solution is a conducting one, but the bulb is not glowing. Then the reason will be there will not be that much current, the amount of current in that circuit will be less. In that case, the amount of current in that circuit will be less. So, do you remember why the bulb glows when current passes through it? It is due to the heating effect of electric current. When current passes through a filament of the bulb, the filament is made up of a tungsten material and the current when passes through this tungsten material, it will emit light. It becomes white hot and emit light. So, due to heating effect of electric current, the filament of the bulb gets heated to a high temperature and starts glowing. However, if the current through the circuit is weak, the filament does not get heated sufficiently and it does not glow. So, if the amount of current is very low, then the current will not be able to produce that much heat in the tungsten filament and it will not emit light. So, in that case, how we will check whether the conductor is whether that solution is a conductor or insulator of electricity. So, in that case, through a metal we may conduct electricity, it may not conduct as it is easily as a metal. As a result, the circuit of the tester may be complete and yet the current through it may be too weak to make the bulb glow. So, we need to make a new tester for weak current. We can make a new tester for weak current. Two methods are there. Instead of this bulb, we can use an LED, light emitting diode. Instead of this tester, this bulb, we can use LED. LED uses low energy. It will glow for weak current also. So, we can use an LED for that purpose. In the case of electric bulb in this tester, LED is known as light emitting diode. LED glow when even a weak current flows through it. LED will emit light when a weak current flows through it. So, two wires are there for LED, that is the two terminals of LED. The longer lead always connected to the positive terminal of the battery and the shorter lead is connected to the negative terminal of the battery. The diagram, the picture of an LED is given in your textbook, page number 174. Okay. Now, we can use another effect of electric current before that. So, with the help of this tester, we can check whether a solution is a conductor of electricity or an insulator of electricity. If the solution is a conductor of electricity, then current should pass through the filament of the bulb. The filament gets heated and it will emit light. If it produces weak current, then the bulb will not glow, but the solution may be a conducting one. In that case, we need to make a new tester that is used to detect weak current also. That is, we will replace this bulb with the help of a LED. We will replace the bulb with the help of a LED. So, the LED will glow for weak current also. The LED will glow even when weak current flows through it. So, two terminals are there for LED. One longer terminal is connected to the positive terminal of the battery and a shorter terminal is there that is connected to the negative terminal of the battery. Now, we can use another tester that is based on the magnetic effects of electric current. With the help of that one also, we can check whether a solution is a good conductor of electricity or not. Okay. So, in this tester we are using heating effect of electric current. So, we can make another tester which utilizes the magnetic effects of electric current. So, we can use another effect of electric current to make another kind of tester that is about magnetic effect of electric current. So, what happens when a compass needle is kept near a current, when current flows through a wire? When you keep a compass needle near a current carrying conductor, the compass needle will show a deflection. The compass needle will show a deflection. So, even if the current is very small, there will be a deflection in the compass needle, and we can from that idea we will be able to check whether that solution is a conductor or insulator. So, that is about this one. Yeah, this tester uses the magnetic effects of electric current. Yeah, it is a battery, this one is a battery, this one is a compass needle. This one is a compass needle. These are the two terminals of the tester. We will name this terminal as A and this terminal as B. Okay. So, if the current is very weak, or if it produces a weak current, then also the compass needle will show a deflection. That is given in activity 14.3. So, take a tray from the inside of a discarded matchbox, wrap an electric wire of a few times around the tray, place a small compass needle inside it. So, we need to try a matchbox tray. Just wrap a few turns using a wire and keep a compass needle inside that tray. Now, connect one free end of the wire to the terminal of the battery and leave the other end free. Take another piece of wire and connect it to the other terminal of the battery. Join the free ends of the two wires for a moment. The compass needle will show a deflection. Means the circuit is complete and a current will flow through the circuit, and that compass needle will deflect according to the amount of current flowing in the circuit. So, now your tester is ready to Now repeat the activity that is given in 14.2 using the tester. Do you find a deflection in the compass needle a moment when you dip the free ends of the tester in the lemon juice? You will find a momentary deflection, or when you dip the free terminals or free ends of the tester in the lemon juice, you can see a deflection in the compass needle. Means the circuit is complete and the current is flowing through the circuit. Take out the free ends of the tester from the lemon juice and dip them in water and then wipe them dry.
Repeat the activity with other liquids such as tap water, vegetable oil, milk, honey. Remember to wash and wipe the dry ends of the tester. Remember to wash and wipe dry the ends of the tester after testing each liquid. Okay. So, the box is given in your textbook, page number 175. So many materials are used to check whether these materials are a good conductor of electricity or a bad conductor of electricity. So, we will do the table page that is given in page number 175, table 14.1. So, material, first column is a serial number, second column is about the material, third one whether the compass needle will show a deflection or not. Then fourth one whether it is a good conductor or poor conductor. If the compass needle shows a deflection, means that is a good conductor of electricity. If the compass needle does not show any deflection, means that is an insulator of electricity. So, lemon juice will conduct electricity. So, compass needle will show a deflection. Yes, it is a good conductor of electricity. Vinegar is a good conductor of electricity. Tap water is a good conductor of electricity. Vegetable oil is a poor conductor of electricity. When you dip the two terminals of the tester in vegetable oil, the compass needle will not show any deflection, means it is a poor conductor of electricity. Milk is a conductor of electricity. Honey is not a conductor of electricity. When you dip the two terminals of the tester in honey, the compass needle will not show any deflection. Seawater. Just take seawater in a beaker and dip the two terminals of the tester in seawater, then the compass needle will show a deflection. So, seawater is a good conductor of electricity. Then distilled water. When you take distilled water or battery water, it is free from all impurities. No impurities will be there in distilled water. It is the purest form of water. So, when you take distilled water in a beaker and dip the two ends of the tester, the compass needle or the bulb will not show any deflection, or the compass needle will not show any deflection, the bulb will not emit light or the bulb does not glow, means that is a poor conductor of electricity. Then when the free ends of the tester do not touch each other, there is a air gap between them. When the two terminals are not touching each other, means there is a gap between them that is filled with air. So, at normal conditions, air is a poor conductor of electricity. But she has also read that during lightning, an electric current passes through air. She wonders if air is indeed a poor conductor under all conditions. This makes Buju ask whether other materials classified as poor conductors also allow electricity to pass under certain conditions. Okay. Here we classified the materials as good conductors and poor conductors of electricity, but at certain conditions poor conductors also conduct electricity. At certain conditions poor conductors also conduct electricity. Normally air is an insulator, but during lightning air will conduct electricity. Okay. Actually, under certain conditions, most materials can conduct. That is why it is preferably to classify materials as good conductors and poor conductors instead of classifying as conductors and insulators. We have tested the conduction of electricity through tap water. Let us now test the conduction of electricity through distilled water. So, that is given in activity 14.4. Distilled water is the purest form of water. It is free from all impurities. So, distilled water does not conduct electricity. So, we will test it whether it will conduct electricity or not with the help of the tester. That is given in activity 14.4. Take about 2 teaspoons of distilled water in a clean and dry plastic or rubber cap of a bottle. You may obtain distilled water from your school science lab. You may also get distilled water from a medical store or a doctor or a nurse. Use the tester to test whether distilled water conducts electricity or not. What do you find? Does the distilled water conduct electricity? Normally, distilled water will not conduct electricity. When you dip the 2 free ends of the tester in distilled water, the bulb will not emit light. If you are using that tester, the compass needle will not show any deflection if you are using that tester. Okay. That means distilled water is a poor conductor of electricity. Now, what you have to do is, you have to add a pinch of salt in it. You need to add a pinch of salt in it, then you will be able to see that distilled water will conduct electricity. Now, dissolve a pinch of common salt in distilled water, again test. What do you conclude this time? So, when you add a pinch of common salt into distilled water, then distilled water will conduct electricity. When salt is dissolved in distilled water, we obtain salt solution, that is a good conductor of electricity. Now, in the examples I told sea water. Sea water contains salt. So, salt water will conduct electricity. Salt water is a conductor of electricity. The water that we get from the sources such as tap, hand pipe, hand pumps, wells and ponds is not pure. It may contain several salts dissolved in it. A small amount of minerals and salts are naturally present in it. This water is thus a good conductor of electricity. On the other hand, distilled water is free from salt and is a poor conductor of electricity. So, normal our water, tap water contains some impurities. Some impurities or minerals are dissolved in that water. So, when you check whether that water will conduct electricity or not, with the help of a tester, you will get the idea that tap water is a conductor of electricity. At the same time, when you check it with distilled water is a poor conductor of electricity. The reason is that it is free from impurities. We have found that common salt, when dissolved in water, it makes a good conductor. It makes a good conductor. Now, we need to check which all materials we can add to distilled water, so that distilled water will conduct electricity. That is given in activity 14.5. Take 3 clean plastic or rubber caps of bottles, pour about 2 teaspoons full of distilled water in each of them. Add few drops of lemon juice, dilute hydrochloric acid to a distilled water in one cap. Now, in the second cap containing distilled water, add a few drops of base such as caustic soda or potassium iodide. Add a little sugar to the distilled water in the third cup and dissolve it. So, 3 beakers are there. These 3 beakers contain distilled water. In the first beaker, we added lemon juice with dilute hydrochloric acid. In the second beaker, we added caustic soda or potassium iodide. A few drops of base such as caustic soda or potassium iodide. In third beaker, we dissolve sugar, and we need to check whether the solution in these 3 beakers will conduct electricity or not with the help of a tester. So, we can find that the first 2 beakers, the liquids or the solution in the first 2 beakers will conduct electricity. The first 2 beakers, the solution in the first 2 beakers will conduct electricity. In the first beaker, we have lemon juice with dilute hydrochloric acid. In lemon, citric acid is there. Then we added few drops of hydrochloric acid. Then in the second beaker, we added caustic soda, that is a base. That is a base or potassium iodide. In the third one, we added sugar. Okay. So, in the first 2 beakers, when you test it with the help of a tester, the bulb will glow. Means that 2 solutions will conduct electricity, and the third one, that is distilled water and sugar, will not conduct electricity. So, from this activity, we will get an idea that most liquids that conduct electricity are solutions of acids, bases or salt. If a solution that contain acid, base or salt, then that solution will conduct electricity. Then that solution will conduct electricity. Okay. So, if a solution is a conductor of electricity, means it should contain either acid, base or salt. Then only the solution will conduct electricity. We can test it with the help of the tester. In the tester, we utilizes heating effects of electric current or magnetic effect of electric current. Okay. Thank you.